Hello friends and welcome to the Architecture Enthusiast. Maison de Verre by Pierre Chareau, completed in 1932 in Paris, France. Form follows function. Every great modern architect thought, designed by and breathed these very words. Or at least, their design principles evolved from them. For Chareau, form didn't just follow function, function defined the space. By focusing on the relationship between the architecture and the interior elements, Chareau's Maison de Verre expanded the idea of functionalism to include not only the architecture but also the space it creates and how people function within that space. First and foremost are the architectural elements. These encompass the structural components that Chareau uses to emphasize the current site's condition, the regularity of the grid used, the characteristics of the materials, the spatial alignment of the program, and so forth. As you enter the house, you pass through the disappearing walls, pivoting doors, retractable stairs, and floating floors. It incorporates architecture, interior architecture and furniture designed to create a total design that can be modified for different occupants. It truly is functional space. In 1928, the d'Alsace marriage bought an old building in Paris with the intention of demolishing it and building a new construction in which their home and the clinic of Dr. d'Alsace would be located. This project's original design needed to be modified because the former owner of the second floor refused to sell her apartment, and so the new design needed to incorporate that apartment. In order to move forward with the project, the architects Pierre Chareau and Bernard Bijvoet resolved to shore up the second floor of the hotel through a new metal structure and demolish the lower floors. As a result, they obtained a new structure on 3 levels, with double heights in some places, keeping in sight the beams and metal columns that offer a vision of the structure and the materials used. In the Maison de Verre, the spatial limits are blurred by a constructive complexity in their partitions. The external shape is defined by translucent glass block walls, with selected areas of transparent glazing. Internally, the spatial division is variable with the use of sliding, folding or rotating screens of either glass, sheet or perforated metal, or a combination of all of them. Maison de Verre, or the Crystal House, was built between 1928 to 1932 in a timeless style in the history of architecture, the result of the complexity of the finishes and the mobile elements that compose it, move it away from the basic principles of the modern movement, although it fits into that style, and bringing it closer to an aesthetic that would not become popular until the 50s. The design of the house emphasized 3 main features: honesty of the materials, variable transparency of the forms, and juxtaposition of industrial materials and accessories with a more traditional style of home decoration. Going up the stairs, you access the main space of the house where public functions are performed, a living room with a double-height ceiling in which the interior effect of the glass facade is fully perceived and with sufficient capacity to hold small domestic concerts. The north face, with a constant natural light, shows all the intentions of Pierre Chareau's design for the Maison de Verre, a structural sincerity that exposes the metal profiles and an ornamentation based on the combination of a complex system of partitions and furniture mobiles, mainly made of wood and reminiscent of the Art Nouveau style. The main materials used for the construction of the Maison de Verre were steel, glass and glass blocks. Although all these materials belong to the new architectural avant-garde impregnated with industrial potential, the construction of a prototype house like this required very particular, uniquely crafted construction techniques and methods, moving it away from the typical industrial construction. Chareau himself confirmed it with the following comment: "The house is a model made by artisans with claims of standardization." The consequence of this situation were enormous cost overruns and that its realization was delayed for 4 years. The house has been compared to a surrealist artwork, a theater stage and an operating room. That effect is animated by the play of light. During the day the facade has a strange milky glow. At night floodlights illuminate the wall from the outdoors, so that it glows like a lantern, bathing the salon in amber light. A single-story dining room and a smaller salon are set just off this central space, so that you are always conscious of its dramatic scale. The Maison de Verre had a profound impact on generations of architects who were seeking to free themselves from the rigid orthodoxies of mainstream modernism. The Maison de Verre, or House of Glass, is a masterful integration of industrial materials into residential design, notably its extensive use of glass blocks for the exterior walls. This choice was not merely aesthetic but also functional, allowing natural light to permeate the interiors while maintaining privacy. The transparency of the glass blocks, coupled with the steel framework, symbolizes the modernist ethos of openness, lightness, and transparency. As Chareau aptly put it, the aim was to blend the useful with the pleasant, creating a living space that was both functional and aesthetically pleasing. Beyond its glass facade, the house is renowned for its innovative use of space and mechanization. The interior layout is highly flexible. Movable partitions and sliding walls enable the transformation of living spaces according to the needs of the moment. This fluidity of space was revolutionary, challenging traditional notions of static, compartmentalized room functions. Furthermore, the integration of mechanical devices, such as the famous pivoting screens, hydraulic pumps, and a retractable staircase, underscored a commitment to convenience, efficiency, and modern living comforts. The material palette of the Maison de Verre reflects a blend of industrial chic and artisanal craftsmanship. Steel, glass, and rubber were employed not just for their functional qualities but also for their aesthetic appeal, contributing to the house's modernist language. The meticulous attention to detail and the precision of the craftsmanship, particularly in the custom furniture and fittings designed by Chareau, highlight the unique intersection between industry and artistry that defines the house. The collaboration with metalworker Louis Dalbet ensured that even the most functional elements, such as door handles and light fixtures, were imbued with a sense of bespoke elegance. The Maison de Verre was constructed in a period marked by significant social and technological shifts. The aftermath of World War I and the lead-up to World War II were times of uncertainty, yet also of innovation and experimentation. The house can be seen as a response to the era's demands for hygiene, efficiency, and new modes of living. Its design reflects the modernist preoccupation with health and cleanliness, evident in the ample use of glass and the sophisticated ventilation systems, addressing contemporary concerns about urban living conditions. Moreover, the house's construction during the interwar period encapsulates the spirit of modernism not just as an architectural style, but as a way of life. It stood as a bold counterpoint to traditional Parisian architecture, symbolizing a break from the past and a leap towards a new, modern future. The Maison de Verre was not merely a private residence but a manifesto of modernity, demonstrating how architecture could lead societal transformation towards a more rational, enlightened existence. The enduring legacy of the Maison de Verre lies in its revolutionary approach to space, material, and technology. It has inspired generations of architects and designers to explore the boundaries of what is possible in residential architecture. The house remains a pivotal study subject for those interested in the interplay between tradition and innovation, privacy and openness, and the seamless integration of form and function. In the wider context of architectural history, the Maison de Verre serves as a critical link between the industrial innovations of the early 20th century and the minimalist movements that would follow. It prefigures many principles that would later be celebrated in high modernism and beyond, such as the integration of the machine aesthetic into everyday life, the fluidity of open-plan layouts, and the use of industrial materials in domestic settings. The Maison de Verre is more than just a house. It is a seminal piece of architectural history that continues to challenge and inspire. As Chareau himself expressed, the ambition was to harmonize the practical with the poetic, the material with the ethereal. In this, the Maison de Verre succeeds magnificently, standing as a monument to the enduring power of innovative design to shape human experience and expectations of space. Its legacy is a testament to the vision of Pierre Chareau and Bernard Bijvoet, whose collaborative genius created not just a home, but a landmark of modernist ideology and aesthetic.